How can a country become a $20 trillion economy from a $4 trillion economy? Who has the authority to change the systems in a country? Who has the authority to change the system? Whoever is powerful enough to change it. It is not easy to change a system. You need to be tremendously powerful. What does it mean to be powerful? It means you need to have a lot of people who will do whatever you say, who will obey you. So, in a democracy like India, even if you have more than 300 seats in parliament, it typically means you got about 30-40% of the vote, which means 60% of the vote at least is against you. That's the kind of system we have. So even if you have 300 plus seats in parliament, you aren't that powerful. People won't obey you. So to be able to change the systems in a country, you need to be that popular, that powerful, that more than half the people of the nation will definitely obey you and do what you say. In that case, you can be in a position to change the systems. Otherwise, nothing will change in India. So that's what it is. Now, how can a country become a $20 trillion economy from $4 trillion economy? How do you become 5 times the size? First of all, it takes time. It'll take decades. Please understand, it'll take decades. Secondly, we have to reform the system, reduce the inefficiencies, cut down on the inefficiencies, the inertia, cut down on whatever alleged corruption exists, and focus manufacturing. Focus on manufacturing. India has to become a manufacturing power. Right now, India is a service based economy to a large extent. Services, not manufacturing. We export services, IT, and whatnot. We have to start exporting goods, which means that we have to start manufacturing stuff. Doesn't matter what you manufacture, but manufacture lots of stuff that people want and people need. And over time, your technological prowess will definitely improve. That's how China did it. When they started manufacturing in the 1980s, they were at a very low level of manufacturing capability. But over the decades, they have improved their technological prowess. Now they're one of the most technological advanced nations in the world. And they've done it by having a clear long-term focus on what technologies they want to acquire, what technologies they want to build upon. And for that, you need a great education system. And they've done that too. They've invested trillions of dollars worth of money into their education system. So we need to have a long-term focus. We need to reform our systems. We need to reform the education. We need to focus on manufacturing and so many other things. And obviously, we have to have good relations with other countries, especially the more powerful countries. We have to have good relations with as many powerful countries as possible and ensure there is no war, any major military conflict over the next 20, 30 years. All of those things you have to do, which means you need to have great leadership. So, yeah, that's how you transform a $4 trillion economy into a $20 trillion economy. Look, if you look at the history of the US over the 20th century, from the 1950s onwards, their economy doubled in size every decade, roughly. Every decade, every 10 years, the economy doubled in size. So if we can achieve that sort of growth, then we could become a $20 trillion economy in less than 30 years, if we can achieve that sort of growth. So right now we're at $4 trillion. If by 2034 we are at $8 trillion economy, and by 2044 we are a $16 trillion economy, then by 2050 or 2055 we could definitely be a 20 plus trillion-dollar economy. So it takes time. It takes a lot of time, but we have to do a lot of things and get a lot of things right for this to happen. So yeah, that's the road ahead if everything goes right for us.